Economist at BP though believes that in about 20 years' time, India's coal demand could see a major reduction. That's not all. The demand for natural gas could grow threefold from over here in about 2 decades or so. ETNA's Tushar Chakrabarti caught up with Spencer Dale for more on this.
I think what's happened in terms of solar energy, in particular in India, has been, really surprising. And around the world, people have looked at it with considerable admiration in terms of the pace at which solar energy has grown and the pace at which costs have come down. And we think that's likely to
of coal and as well as oil and gas in India and globally.
Yeah. So in terms of coal, today, over 3/4 of all the power generated within India today is by coal. I expect that share to gradually decline over time, helped by that very rapid growth in renewable energy. But even with that very rapid growth of renewable energy, coal likely to account for around 2/3 of power generation in 2040. So coal remaining a central part of the fuel mix within the Indian economy. In terms of natural gas, we think the demand for natural gas is likely to more than triple over the next 25 years. So strong growth in natural gas as well.
India has had a very strong push as far as electric vehicles is concerned. We've had the government's think tank, the Niti Aayog, taking the lead and releasing a lot of recommendations on the same. How optimistic are you of India making this transition from internal combustion engine to electric vehicles successfully over the longer term, sir?
I think electric vehicles are growing rapidly around the world. There's about 3 million electric cars on the planet today. We think that's likely to go to over 300 million cars by 2040. So rapid growth around the world. And I think that we'll see that in India as well as other parts of the world. I think for India, the challenges are trying to get a very rapid growth in electric vehicles in the near term is likely to be challenging, both because those costs remain very high, and it also puts significant pressure on the power sector as well in terms of making sure that you have the right amount of electricity in the right parts of the country for people to have the confidence that as they're driving home to see their parents, that their car's not going to suddenly run out of power and not be able to repower. So I think we will see this growth, but very rapid growth in India faces some degree of challenge.
Do you see the oil demand in India, especially, peaking out sometime in the future?
No, I don't. I think in one of our central scenarios we look at, we have India being the world's largest growth market for oil. So today in India, about 4 million barrels of oil were consumed. We think that's likely to increase to about 10 million barrels a day by 2040. And the key reason which is driving that growth is a strong economic growth that we see in India and increasing prosperity in India. Hundreds of millions of families in India over the next 20-25 years will be able to save up, buy their first motorbike, then buy their first motor car. And as they do that, that will increase the demand for oil. And I think that's a good news story. That's a counterpart to this increasing prosperity that we expect to see in India.
And before I let you go, what would be your outlook on global oil prices as we go forward?
My outlook for global oil prices as we go forward is they remain very, very hard to predict.